through in our community. Real talk. I know we think we control. I know we think we control the shots. You think some guy named Frank Lucas hooked up with some guys in Vietnam and brought dope over here?
No.
All that idealism. If this government wants us to get have dinosaur shit tomorrow, that's what it'll be.
Right.
That's what it'll be. If they want to put a chimpanzee on a girly magazine, have Oprah Winfrey visit an interviewer, and say this is the next beauty. Guys, we see. You know what? When you look at her from different glimpses, I can see she do. Damn. What's her sign?
Right.
Now I think about it. Yeah.
For real.
That's serious. Dead serious.
That's power.
No, for real.
That's power.
Dead serious.
That's power.
Dead serious.
We good?
We good.
Listen, y'all, we got some good energy out here, y'all. When the camera gonna tell us blow for blow what occurred, and we're gonna get that picture by the wall. You know what I'm saying? Then we going to stop at the historical landmark, the Hampton House. And we get a phenomenal event. Man, people that came from Texas. They came from all over the world here today, y'all, to come check out this representative who stood up on his own terms, on our own terms, fight with self-determination. Right on?
Right on.
Long live Chairman Fred.
Long live Chairman Fred.
As I'm sitting here, looking through the crowd, seeing so many people, I hear Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.'s voice in my head. Don't cry. Don't stumble. You got a story to tell. When I used to go visit him in the prison, and I would see the conditions. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., I see the conditions in the prisons, see the pigs, all, the guards and shit. I be mad the motherfucking, I be crying, getting ready to cry. He stopped them before they could come out my eyes. He say, keep strong. That's what Chairman Fred said, he used to say. So I'm gonna go through this story, but so many of y'all, and my immune system is compromised. I can't hug all of y'all. Although I want to, I see so many people out here. I want to invite y'all into our house. This is not the same one that was here, but we lived here 2337 West Monroe. Y'all know it now, it's Chairman Fred Hampton Way. Come up the stairs. There's a rollaway bed and a bunch of clothes in bags. We did clothing giveaway, in addition to the breakfast, in addition to the medical center, in addition to selling the newspaper, in addition to our cadre work. I was on the finance cadre under the leadership of Lieutenant Barbara Sankey. A lot of y'all don't know what they call them things. I done forgot them. You know them big things that heat your house? Space heaters. I done forgot, it's been so long. It heated up our house. We had no hot and cold water in the bathroom. We used to have to go down to Barbara Sankey mama house to shower. The rats almost big as Doberman pinchers running around in there. We had a doorway up against the entranceway to the kitchen. The pigs called it a blockade when they did the reenactment. But that was to keep the rats out, which they probably could have knocked the door down anyway. Big ass rats. So we had this big space heater in the living room, and of course we kept the oven and the stove on also for heat. That's how our people was living. That's how our people still living. You might not see it because a lot of us build our lives around, a lot of y'all build your lives around Instagram, Facebook, I don't know all that stuff. But anyway, but it's still people living under those conditions in this land of the free, home of the brave, the richest country in the world, where they done rob everybody all over the world. But I detract a little bit. So there's a political education class that evening. And Chairman was supposed to pick me up and we were going to go somewhere. But the class went on so long, he sent somebody to pick me up to come back home. We lived on the first floor. A lady with some children lived on the second floor. So the class that went on so long, and when I got back over to the house, yeah, we went back to the room with chairman. They were still politicking, still talking about, you know, the PE, political education class, and who was there and who didn't make it and where they was at, make sure they ain't in jail, that sort of thing. So we go back to our bedroom in the rear part of the house and make some calls. And Chairman Fred fell asleep on the phone. Now this wasn't unusual because he had just got out of prison on a ransom. Y'all call it an appeal bond. You know, where you got to pay the pigs to get out till your trial starts.
Right.
And it was, he had been sent to this prison called Menard. That was one of the most brutal prisons under the worst conditions. Menard still is one of the most brutal prisons under the worst conditions. It's people that now they call in the Freedom All Radio telling stories about it. And people be, that wasn't true, was it? And I hang up on it. I hang up on it. Because anytime a dumb motherfucker think they ain't doing this shit to us now, who got time to talk to them? That's just me. Chairman talks to everybody. And he'll tell them, call into the radio show. But those conditions still exist. But we fighting back. It's people now that used to wouldn't even say was going against was the conditions in the prisons. And they standing up and fighting back because it's happening to so many of us. Mother, brother, sister, even so many of us are the largest prison population. The U.S. has the largest prison population in the world. And in the U.S., black people are the biggest majority, men, women, and children that are locked up. But I deter. That's a new word I learned, I deter. So the class went on. Chairman had fell asleep, and I didn't think it was no big deal because when he was out on the ransom, it was like he was trying to get everywhere, do everything, you know, trying to catch up on time that was lost while he was down there in Menard in that concentration camp, trying to tighten up the party so that the fakers and the shakers could be more readily identified. They'll always be there. We called them rally Panthers. Chairman say, let the rally Panthers come to the rallies. Don't be trying to throw them out. The state don't know if it's the people or the Panthers. They don't know the numbers. But we could walk around and throw out the police, pigs, who would come in there with their koofies on and, you know, these were colored pigs. Y'all call them black. They come in and they bosses would send them there in the little... About a pig, you could see them old joints. It's the stench that rise up off of them with the flies circling around. And you say, now I smell bacon, but it's a pig in here. I know a lot of y'all eat bacon. Don't say, it's a pig in here. You saw them pull up today. They know what's happening. They know who playing and who ain't. So anyway, Chairman fell asleep on the phone. I didn't think nothing of it. I took the phone and ended the call. Next thing I know, somebody was coming into our bedroom, shaking Chairman. Chairman, wake up, the pigs are vamping. And I could see bullets going through the wall. I could feel shots going into our mattress from outside our room. I could smell cordite. A lot of y'all ain't been around no shooting. I'm trying to be funny now. A lot of y'all ain't been around no shooting. I know most of us have. And you could, when you're real close to it, you could smell the cordite as the bullets are going in. I moved over on top of Chairman Fred. Don't ask me why, I just did it. I'm an automatic. It wasn't even thinking about it. The only movement Chairman Fred made was to look towards the entryway to our bedroom. And it was like he was in slow motion. He lifted his head up. Real slow. And Chairman Fred was a big guy, but he moved like this. Don't let him take no papers out there on Madison before you get to Western, knocking on car windows like he did when a brother came in and said, Chairman, I can't sell these 200 such and such papers now. So Chairman didn't say nothing. He grabbed the brother, he grabbed a bunch of papers and went downstairs in front of the office, started knocking on windows. Hey, brothers, hey, sister, y'all got the latest edition of the Black Panther newspaper. They talking about they killed somebody over in Oakland just like they did here. You didn't read about that? What do you read? I know you're going to buy this paper, 25 cents. You know, that's what Chairman Fred, so the young brother, he's like, damn, you know, the chairman came out here, you know. That energized him. The young brother, he's selling papers. He's selling. He never came back in there again to say, I can't sell these papers. And that's the work we did, the papers, the breakfast, and our cadre work. So, Chairman out on ransom, running 100 miles a minute, touring. He even went to Canada to speak. Well, this shooting started, and the chairman looked up, looked like a million pigs, and converged at the entryway to the door to our room. Chairman Fred had laid his head back down real slow and didn't move. He never got out of bed, despite the fact that then State's Attorney Hanrahan did a reenactment and said that Chairman Fred was standing at the rear window of the apartment, quietly pumping a shotgun and a 45 out the window. When the state, the government, the police, the popo, the pigs, when they came and examined the apartment, they had these sticks to see the trajectories of the bullets, see how the bullets go in and see where they come out. Majority of the bullets were aimed at the head of the bed where Chairman Fred slept. If you've been under gunfire, 5 minutes seems like 5 hours. And you just say, well, when I wake up, I'm gonna be in heaven or hell or revolutionary happy hunting grounds, but just know you're not gonna survive it. This shooting went on, and the person that had come into the rooms kept shouting out, stop shooting, stop shooting. We got a pregnant sister in here. He was talking about me. I was real pregnant. I mean, real pregnant. The shooting stopped. I looked at Chairman Fred. He was still had his head laying on the side. And I crossed over him. I slid on his house shoes. It was cold in the house. We had a space heater and then the stove and the oven on for heat. And Chairman Fred didn't make any movement. I slid into his house shoes. I had his long johns on. I had his robe on that wasn't buttoned. And I remember thinking to myself, don't stumble, don't fall. Like I said, I was real pregnant. Because they will murder you and your baby if you stumble. They'll say you attacked them. So I'm thinking, walk straight. Just remember, when I get to the door, it's 2 lines of pigs. Remember every detail you can. They got a big nose, a little nose, if they got glasses, if they wearing a badge. I'm saying this over and over in my head so I could remember everything. Of course, I didn't remember everything. The pigs lined up. They grabbed over my robe. They pulled my hair and say, laughing, "What do you know? We got a broad here." They slung me into the kitchen area. I heard a voice to me that said, and I hadn't heard this voice before, so it wasn't an occupant of the apartment. They said, "He's barely alive. He'll barely make it." Then the shooting started again. Then it stopped. And they said, "Oh, he's good and dead now. He's good and dead now." Pigs took us, the survivors, locked us up. Hold on. They was arguing before we left out the apartment over whose prisoners we were. City pigs, state's attorney pigs. You know the FBI and the CIA were there represented in that number. They was all involved in it. It was a coordinated effort led by then state's attorney Edward V. Hanrahan, who was touted by William the Big Daly to carry out the orders of J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI, to destroy the Black Panthers, whether it was the targeting them as gangs, as whatever bad light they could shed on the Black Panther Party. So as I walk out to our home, our apartment, I don't look towards the bedroom because I don't know how I would respond to what I might see. But when I get to the living room, because they decided to take us out the front, Defense Captain Mark Clark was laying on the floor in front of a chair. He had been shot, murdered, assassinated by the pigs. Well, they took us to the jail, charged us with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and set these huge ransoms for us to get out. There was a reporter there from the Tribune. He said, "I want to talk to you about what's going on." I was like, "Fuck you, you know." Then I turned back, I said, "I do have something to say. It's just one word you need to print in your newspaper. Fascism. That's fascism." Wait, give me some for your bullshit ain't me. Did I miss one? Legends in this motherfucker. Excuse my French, anybody know me know I cuss all the time. Anyway, they left. That would be Hanrahan. Got on the TV, did a reenactment. Said only by the Mr. Rico.
I also want to just say this too. You take forgive me, y'all, and interject. Hey, brother. Hey, appreciate you coming out. There's some people we're gonna be acknowledging, so make sure y'all stay focused on this here too, though. That's Minister Rico leaving out. We're gonna be back. We got right on, brother. Love, and respect, man. Love you, brother. Right on. And you got brother IQ. You rolling too? No. Okay. It's gonna be some powerful DNA here today, y'all. Gonna be a lot. We got the Emmett Till family here. It's gonna be some powerful situations, powerful people here. Y'all, the people in general, y'all energy is powerful. You know, so we got the young lords here. It's gonna be going down. I just want to say this too. We usually end with Mother, some solidarity statement. I want to give Mother Comrade a heads up too with today. We don't want also, after we lay out what happened December the 4th, if you could give us a life story of Chairman Fred too. Something that, because I know, like I said, December 4th is International Revolutionary Day, and a lot of times we take for granted that people know, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, just him at the personal side. The deal is, that's even political with him, you know what I'm saying? Even how he went to clubs, all that, you know what I'm saying? And I just want to seize the time on his birthday, y'all. Happy birthday, Chairman Fred.
Happy birthday, Chairman Fred.
Right on. So forgive me for cutting you off, y'all. And again, we fortunate. We are fortunate. We are fortunate. You know what I'm saying? Because in Nazi Germany, they said the children don't know about the gas chamber. They challenge you with child abuse. To have someone here that's still consistent. You know what I'm saying? The brother who just left, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, we got party members that are here, that were here and that are still here, right on Comrade Stan McKinney in the building, you know what I'm saying? And some other party members gonna be here too. And I don't take that for granted, y'all, that, because the way that they assassinated, you know what, let me tag team, get the mic back to you. But this, the fact that we have a comrade here, and I make a joke about it sometimes, I say, if you'd have stepped out the room for a minute, went to the bathroom, they would have attempted to write you out of history. She gives us blow by blow what happened, and you know what I'm saying, and again, and this wasn't no drive-by night, she just happened to be at the apartment December the 4th. You know what I'm saying? This who found the apartment. This is Chairman Fred's widow. You go the government. This who the apartment name was in. You did. The government knew. They knew who was who. You did. And to be, I just seen K Love that poem you did. What is it?
Revolutionary Wife.
Revolutionary Wife. And and the deal is, a lot of us see struggle. Leather jackets with raised, it's cool, it's chic, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know if y'all heard what she said, man, they wouldn't even know how water in this joint. They had to go down the street, take a hot shower. You know what I'm saying? And this impacts everything, relationships. I'm talking about the men and women, your family, all that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But back, Mother Comrade, right on.
Right on, Chairman. Right on. So after they had assassinated Chairman Fred and Defense Captain Mark Clark, they charged us with attempted murder and aggravated assault. Hanrahan, then State's attorney, who was Big Daly's water boy, got on TV, did a reenactment where they built the structure of the apartment, and Hanrahan, then State's attorney, said, "Only by the grace of God who are my brave policemen spared from the attack of the vicious Black Panther Party. Only possibly one shot." This by the government's own statistics. When they stick them sticks through the wall to see where the bullets came in, they checking the trajectories of the bullets to see where it came in and where it came out. Majority of the bullets aimed at the bed where Chairman Fred slept. Only one possible shot could have came from Mark Clark. When they shot him in the heart and he fell to the floor and dropped the gun, fell out of his hand. The bullet was up in the staircase going up to the second floor apartment. Well, the people rallied. I'm gonna tell you, this was the cold Chicago winter. Sometimes we've been fortunate to have 60, 70 degrees in December, but those are few and far between. But this was freezing cold with tons of snow. People was lined up all around the block to come. They wasn't believing that bullshit they was seeing on TV or that bullshit they was reading in the papers or those reenactments or all those little film clips that was running. They had been reading the Black Panther newspaper and they saw how the pigs move in and murder people in communities, black and oppressed communities all over the country. So they wasn't going for it. They lined up and stood in line in the cold. We reenacted that in one of the movies we was working on. Didn't we, K-Love?
We sure did.
That Judas and the Black Messiah was not the first attempt.
Was not.
It was not the first attempt. We gonna do independent on our own. Even them people wouldn't follow through. But we got to work with a dream motherfucking team and fought night and day. Chairman even arguing about who having a cigarette, who looking bummy and who ain't, who got all them stars on their cap. Cut. As soon as they hear that coming from the back, they know it's Chairman. He was on them. He called me one day. I said, "Who is this?" "Chairman, you gotta come up here. I'm real sick." He been fighting and battling so long, he had got sick. So I didn't say, why? What you want me to do? Got my shit together and went up there. And we battled. We battled to give the most accurate depiction of the Black Panther Party that's been ever given. And that's working and fighting and battling with a dream team that came to the Hampton house when there wasn't no running water in that motherfucker and the toilet wouldn't flush.
Talk about it.
And sat around the table and went over in K-Town. Do y'all still call it K-Town? Where how many people had got killed? 11 people had got killed that night. I wasn't going. Daniel Kalula, Dominique Fishback, a bunch of them went over there with chairman. A lot of them left. But I said, these motherfuckers is serious. And I watched Daniel Kalula as we were talking, how he was taking in all the information, how he was processing it. Not with an arrogance. Yes, I know all about the Black Panther Party. You know how some of y'all do. Some of y'all tell me and told me, well, they're not here now, so don't be going looking for them, that they was in the apartment. And they knew Deborah. That's my government name. I kept it because I figured my mama went through labor so she could give me whatever name she want to. So I'm Deborah Anakua.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But y'all can't call me Deborah. Y'all don't go that far back. But who here? Is a brother here? No, he ain't. He can call me Deborah whenever the fuck he want to. I'm Deborah. Shit. He don't have to say, I don't never correct him either. No. That's my guy. Way back to the village. Y'all know nothing about the village on the west. I'm a west side girl. I don't know nothing about the village. Well, I live all over the place, but I'm a west side girl, for real. And I'm going to tell you about that story in a minute after I get through this one. If they don't take the mic from me. They charge us with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and the only possible shot that came from the Panthers was Mark Clark when he was shot in the chest. Well, people lined up and they said, get that pregnant girl out of jail. Get that pregnant girl out of jail. She can't be in jail. People raised bond money, got us out. And you know what? I couldn't tell you today what freedom feel like. But I know we're not supposed to be living under these conditions. And how we gonna get freedom? We have to have an ideology. That's a plan. We have to have certain Black Panther Party, a 10-point program, a platform. It wasn't just a bunch of niggas getting a tam and a leather jacket and a gun. We had PE, political education, 3 times a week. You had to go. You had to do cadre work. You had to work on a cadre. I told them I couldn't cook, which was a lie, but I'm sorry, but that's back in the day when they had 1,000,001 black clubs all on the south side and west side. Notice I didn't say north side because we wasn't really going on the north side. Blues, jazz, R&B, soul, all kind of music, all kind of bands. And we would go to these clubs at night and be singing the songs and changing the words to them and selling the Black Panther newspaper and just bringing it into any conversation. We didn't sit there all cluttered up. We moved and blended with the people. I used to walk down the street from Madison and Western. The chairman was locked up in Menard with a little girl named Desiree. She holding my hand. I'm real pregnant. And we walked from Madison and Western to 5 North Laurel. Any of y'all live in Chicago, you know how far west Laurel is, right? 5 North Laurel. All times of the night, selling the newspaper. And before you know it, we would be there. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, because the people would engage us in discussions and, you know, how can they get involved? What can they do? What needs to be done? And they would buy the papers. We get a nickel off the papers, off of 25 cents. We had Panther cribs where people would sleep in. Look, we had a Murphy bed. Y'all know what that is. It pulls out from the closet. Big ass iron thing. I don't know how one person did it. And that came into the living room. We say we had a double decker bed. 5 people slept on the floor under the bed, and 5 people slept in the bed that could fit in. Other people was in the tub or wherever they could go. Because back then, everybody didn't have a car. Everybody didn't have a crib. A lot of us got kicked out the damn house when we started fucking with the Panthers. I lived on 9707 South Michigan, across from Harlem High School, because I had left my mama's house because I was grown. I went to live with my dad and his girlfriend, and then when I came, she said, now that's too many goddamn kids. You brought your son in here come your old ass daughter. She's 16. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. Moved in with my aunt, my daddy's sister. I started fucking around with them Panthers, going to the breakfast program, selling them newspapers, because I was working and going to school. So I could stay out all night and party then, long as I was bringing some change in or something, you know. But with them Panthers, it wasn't nothing else. Selling the newspaper. You know what I'm saying? Getting it ready for a free medical center to open. But like I was saying, again, I deterred. I can't tell you what this thing called freedom is like. I haven't experienced. I know I feel better when I'm doing this work. I know I feel better when I come to the Hampton House, National Landmark status. Thank you very much. When I come to the Hampton House and they done did something else out there, whether it's the Feed 'em All program with the new refrigerator. They don't tell me, right? Whether it's the new banner or the flag, whether it's a group of children coming around and they learning, what you call it, how to play well with people. They learning how to work organized and follow instructions when they have fire gun what's them things? Water guns. Water guns. Water guns.
Water guns. Water guns. We got the children with water guns. Water guns. Water. Real quick. Don't y'all run. Don't run from this box. The youth are gonna be for donations, whatever support y'all can. You won't catch nothing by putting some money in it, so don't be fearful of it. Whatever support you can, we appreciate that. And when you peel off, keep a little something for later on too, because we'll be come back again later on at the park. So they coming around with that in a minute. And I want to definitely while that's going, Mother Comer, I want to request one of the life stories. My memory banks about she got put this narrative I have an issue with, that Chairman Fred couldn't dance, so I couldn't dance. The joint the club, because a lot of times people have this thing about revolutionaries, this stoic, this machine that's detached from the people, that we don't relate to the people. Make sure we get make sure we got seats and everything out here, y'all, and water for every. Are we good? Make sure look around, y'all. Make sure elder people and sisters, water, seats, and all that. Make sure we good on that. Make sure we got bottles of water, y'all. Stay hydrated. Make sure look around. You know what I'm saying? We got official security out here, but the people are our best security. So make sure y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all see our people, make sure they got water, make sure they sitting down, whatever, make sure y'all see everybody good. But tell us that while the donation, tell us that story if you can.
Is there a Cash App too?
Oh yeah, a Cash App, $ Save the Hampton House, and also PayPal, Chairman Fred Jr. at gmail.com via PayPal.
So listen, it was this joint, this black man owned this club across the street. We was 2350 West Madison, and we were 2337 living right here, West Monroe. Ray's was like an angle, like you're going towards Western, but don't cross Western, black-owned club. Chairman thought he could dance. I told him, and I told his son, y'all could not catch a beat with a butterfly net. So this West Side girl thought she could dance. I'd be up in the office, And he sent somebody, he'd be over there at Ray's listening to the music.
Office is where
2350
the Walgreens is at, y'all.
West Madison.
That's right.
And Ray's was like at an angle before you get to Western across the street. And they be, you know, they had a jukebox. That's what they had. When you go in there at night, do they still have jukeboxes? No. Look at that.
A little bit.
Say that shit so old. It's ridiculous. But this was 69, y'all. That's when they was playing records. And they'd have sets with DJs. Chairman would be over there listening to music. That music get good to him. He sent somebody over there, go get Hamp. I was real pregnant. And I'd be wearing these flip-flops. Think I done dance around the TV. You know how, y'all don't know how this, but the brothers be turning you around and around. It looked like they dancing too. But he couldn't dance. He couldn't dance. I was doing all kind of turns. He spin me around and go around. And I was pregnant in flip-flops. But he would go get me. When we go out to the Hampton house, he said, come on, Hamp, let's dance. And he meant for me to dance. Which I love doing. Shoot, I grew up in the projects. 1510 was 14th place, apartment 605, and we danced in the projects.
So what about on 48th and State Street when y'all used to have the breakfast over there by the Robert
Now, who is that talking?
I'm one of the Emmett Till family members.
Girl, listen, you know what you talking about. Woo.
I ain't even tell you about it.
I already know. You ain't got to tell me. You done move your mask down. I already know.
Had some music over there.
Listen.
Stoney them up there.
Yes.
Playing some good music.
Listen.
We had some knowledge in there. We were learning.
Yeah.
Little girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So we wasn't just on the west, the central, the Illinois state office and the Chicago office was right here. We had over there what she talking about on Indiana. There were other community, NCCF, National Committee to Combat Fascism on 35th near Giles. It was All-Gale Gardens. We was all over the place. We was all over the place. Peoria, Rockford, all over the place. Politicizing the people, educating the people, and being mandated to start the breakfast programs, the party programs, breakfast, medical center, free shoes, free clothing giveaway. We were mandated to do that everywhere we were, and sell them 250 papers we had to do every week. Which it wasn't like, oh, I gotta sell these papers. It was like, man, I'm going here and there. You know, I could talk to the people and see what's going on so I can get them to come to a PE, so I could get them to get involved, you know, in working on a case so that I could get them to start writing they folks they got in these concentration camps. There's a lot of people, now I know not none of y'all, disown they people when they go to jail. They think only black people going to jail and prison. But white people, they have 2 or 3 people locked up in about 100 per 1,000 or something. But they have you thinking that we the criminals and they the, you know what I'm saying? They doing everything legally by the law, but they some illegal motherfuckers. They write it, bend it, destroy it, and make sure it guarantee that you can end up there, you or some of your family. So I'm saying this to say, don't leave them brothers and sisters and children out there when they get locked up.
That's right. That's right.
The Chairman Jr. talks about how they watch and see who gets mail, who gets visits. And if they know you isolated, they'll fuck you up. They'll fuck you up. They don't even tell y'all the shit they do to them. They too fucking embarrassed. They feel too broke. And then you come in there bitching about the long trip to visit their ass. Fuck that shit. Okay, man. I'm glad to see everybody out here today. It's been, when I'm pulling up, I've just started bawling like a baby. Just seeing so many faces. Some of y'all I hadn't met, but I know your voice. You know, you call into the radio station when you do work on these committees that have been established. Save the Hampton House, the Trip to Ghana program, the Triple C Children Community Cubs. So many have come and gone, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. I don't care what you do after this. This work is entrenched in your brain. You finally feel you, despite everything that's happening in the world, everything that's part of an attack on us, you feel I'm doing something to make this better. Not just cause you come and wear a leather jacket and a tan, but you actually doing work. And before you know it, you're doing more and more and more. I lost my job, got kicked out the house. Think I gave a fuck?
Gotta love it.
Look, I'm gonna tell you another little story. So, when's statute of limitations on death? Anyway, okay. Look, I'll be real careful. Well, I knew this girl. She worked at this.
Hypothetically speaking.
Right.
She worked at a grocery store, a
Allegedly.
big time store, and if she wasn't there, I see. Look, you could tell people got a lot of kids. They have all their cereal, they have grits, they have 5 and 6 loaves of bread. This shit that they gotta stretch. You know what I'm saying? They ain't buying steaks and shit. But the meat department, which is all white, they buying steaks, but they cost 50 cents a box because they market as dog food. But your black ass covered there, you ain't buying those steak. You hear what I'm saying? Yeah, and I know meat. That's how I know it's steak, although it was listed dog food. So I say, what the fuck? No, I said, somebody, what the fuck? Some women will come in there and they just see this certain person there, they turn around and go right out the door. We got to have some benefit out of what they take from us. And I don't mean getting county jail. You have to do something to fight back against this terrorism that we live every day. Well, I don't have no terrorism. I live in a nice suburban area. I have a great job. I'm the only black person on the job. And I don't have a degree. And I go to my boss's lunch and so on and so forth. So I don't know what these niggas cried about. But oppressed people are all over the world, and they definitely in this city. And before you know it, your ass gonna be gone from that job. And you're gonna say, I wish I had did something when I was living large. Because the day of reckoning will come for everybody. It ain't meant for us to be successful. They give you Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, all these big name people who have made it because they put their nose to the grind and work hard. We work hard and don't get shit for it. We get high blood pressure, heart disease, lung cancer, just so we could pay the fucking rent. So I just want to give y'all a little insight, and I hope I see y'all. And look, I know a lot of times, not y'all, but sometimes people, you want than the next person, right? Not y'all. So you go to something and you don't tell nobody about it. And then when it's over, girl, I was over there, and them Black Panthers. How come you didn't tell me? Girl, I was rushing. I couldn't tell nobody about that shit. You want to be the old one that got a brain. So, you know people like that. I know none of y'all like that. Tell everybody about it. Till we here. It's been 2 or 3 people, Kayla, you know, in the snow out here. And they making, her group making hot chocolate and giving it to people. Snow deep in the mud, it's cold. And it's been 60, 70 degrees in December. But you got to tell somebody. And you know what? I promise, if you don't want your children around cussing, I'm going to tone it down a bit next time.
Next time. She said it every time.
So, but bring your children, because they're not going to get this story. They're not going to get these facts. I don't care how much black, colored people history they try to pour down their throat. Well, we learn about Malcolm X and Dr. King now in school. You won't get the true people's version of what's happening. That's why the Black Panther newspaper was so important. You get the real deal version about what's going on in the world, not dressed up. I want to thank y'all for coming, and I want to thank Chairman Fred for all the work that Chairman Fred Hampton Jr., the Black Panther Party Cubs, and Feed 'em All, Free 'em All. People are doing the work that they come and do on the committees, the artists that come and give so much of their time. I'm just glad to be here and just overwhelmed. Cause y'all looking good, for real, and strong and beautiful.
We're glad you're here too, Mom.
Yes.
Thank you. Free 'em all. Power
Free 'em all.
to the people.
Bow to the people.
Free them all, power to people, y'all. We moving and grooving, y'all. Right on.
Right on.
It's Mother Comrade, Cool and Jerry, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Right on.
Right on.
I'm gonna get some solidarity statements out. We while we doing move slow. Next we gonna get a group picture by the wall. And I definitely want to. I want to open up real quick. We gonna be also doing a concert. We gonna be sprinkling y'all with little statements and stuff too. But if the Teal family want to say something now, okay, at the concert. Okay, we gonna all be moving around. And man, food. Those who we got people gonna be preparing food and everything to Kenya and
Okay, you
show your
guys, I
hand.
wanted to
Sister Chastity, she's
make
right here
history
too.
and tape
She's
history.
there right here.
out here.
Matter of fact, I don't know if y'all met
My
each other.
brother Sheriff Fred Hampton
She ain't on the conference.
celebrating his dad's birthday today.
Connect
Another
up.
Virgo, rest in heaven. Long live Chairman Fred.
Don't the
I see
film?
you guys on
We
the
got
next
some
one.
people
I'll
out
be
here. We
down
got
there
some
in a
artists
minute,
in from
y'all.
Texas
I'm
everywhere. Make sure y'all
bouncing all
people
around,
in particular
y'all,
from out of
bouncing all around,
town.
okay? Y'all make sure
Y'all know
like,
the
share,
propaganda we get in Chicago,
channel.
aka
Share
Chirac.
this video.
Make sure,
guys is catching
our
some
comrades,
history
our people know it's
by
open
some
arms here, y'all. Right on.
DNA that's out here, right
The
on.
indigenous community came from
Emmett Till
man,
family
from
out
a
here,
long
and
ways.
so
You know
many
what I'm
other
saying?
people out here from all over. So I'm
Texas,
trying
you
to
name
do
it.
as
So
much
make
as
sure
I
y'all
can
we
and
let
share
them know,
with you guys. Make sure you guys,
especially y'all get ready for the Hampton
subscribe
House. We
to the
still
channel,
moving at that
and I'll see
historical
you all on the
landmark, man.
next one.
Revolutionary love, respect, and appreciation to all y'all. Mr. Caleb, man, I'm having flashback. How long, man? Oh man, love y'all, brothers. Love y'all.